Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, NFL, some other stuff potentially once NFL is over. So, yeah, introduction there. All these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. It is called DF Sports. Right here, you can find my post. My username is Shook. I make updates with all of the news that comes out, and people talk strategy here. Ask me questions. You can ask me whatever you want, and I will reply to every single one of you. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. If you ever are interested in joining my Discord, I'll have a link to that down below in the comments. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can do so on Reddit privately, or you can do so on Twitter at Tori Langley 1992 is my Twitter. And guys, guys, I know I said I wasn't going to tilt anymore, but Mr. Greg Popovich, my lineup is absolutely smashing, absolutely going ballistic. I look at the Sixers game, it's a 20-point game at the start, or like end of the third quarter. The Spurs get it back within 9 points with 6 minutes left to go. You want to know what Mr. Greg Popovich does with 6 minutes left to go in the game in a 9-point game? Let's take a look. He plays a lineup of Dominic Barlow, Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, I want to say Isaiah Roby, and Stanley Johnson, I want to say. That was the lineup he closed with in a 9-point game. In a 9-point game. I looked at this score when the game was over and I was like, oh my god, my players must have absolutely smashed. This game went way over the total. Way over the total. I was like, holy fuck. My players must have smashed. This is going to be a great night. And I find out Keldon Johnson doesn't play the fourth quarter. Keita Bates-Diop doesn't play the fourth quarter. Josh Richardson doesn't play the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at my lineup from tonight. Let's take a look at it. You guys want to know who is in my lineup tonight? Josh Richardson, 26 fantasy points through 3 quarters. Keita Bates-Diop, 25 fantasy points through 3 quarters. Keldon Johnson, 26 fantasy points through 3 quarters. Josh Richardson absolutely breaking the slate. Keita Bates-Diop absolutely breaking the slate at no ownership. They don't touch the fourth quarter. None of them. None of them. Outside of Malachi Branham. Who, get a load of this. Get a load of this. So, Davion Mitchell was 60% owned. Davion freaking Mitchell. 53% owned. Malik Monk, 42% owned. But Malachi Branham, only 28% owned, who I thought was the best play on the slate outside of Fred VanVleet. Thinking emoji. Don't know what people are doing, but I actually had Davion Mitchell in my lineup until Mo Bamba was starting. So I got lucky there, but Malachi Branham was a much better play than Davion Mitchell. Malachi Branham was one of the best plays on the slate. Also, Mr. Mo Bamba. You gotta be fucking kidding me, right? You can't let that 5'5" little boy Austin Rivers chirp in your face without throwing hands and getting ejected? Seriously, bro. I really needed you tonight, man. You let 5'5" Austin Rivers get you mad, and you throw punches, and you whiff, and you whiff, you whiff. You don't even hit the dude. Unbelievable. Mr. Domantas Sabonis. Whole team to himself. Shoots the ball 13 times and has 1 fantasy point in the fourth quarter. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Fred VanVleet also had like 1 fantasy point in the fourth quarter. Luckily, he still punished the faders. He was the best play on the slate, and it wasn't even close. I feel for you if you didn't play Fred VanVleet tonight, but he was a free square. So the core that I had for tonight, I don't remember what I had. I had Domantas Sabonis. He was fine. I had Lauri Markkanen. He reached value. He was fine. I had Fred VanVleet. He smashed. And then Malachi Branham. He absolutely smashed. And then I had Mo Bamba as a core play as well. He absolutely smashed in only 3 quarters and then got ejected. But Pop, this could have been the binker. If Josh Richardson, Keldon Johnson, and Keita Bates-Diop play the fourth quarter, you would have. I'm only 29 points out of first. You would have to think I get 29 points from those three combined. Let's say what? 6 from Richardson, 10 from Keldon. That's 16. Let's do 8 for Richardson, 10 for Keldon. That's 18, and then like 9 for Keita Bates-Diop. I'm in second place. No one runs worse. No one. No one. Unbelievable the amount of shit that I dealt with tonight. Sorry guys, the tilting's back. I could only go a day without it. But still a good night overall. I will gladly take the good night. And I am never playing Keldon Johnson again. This guy, even though he didn't play the fourth quarter, if he played the fourth, he probably would have been like, I don't know, 35 fantasy points, which is fine. I also thought Banchero was just really bad chalk. Let me go over some chalk plays. So I thought Banchero was just terrible chalk. I thought Davion was fine. I thought what else? I thought Malik Monk was way overowned. I thought Drew Eubanks was way overowned. And if you take a look at this, so if you guys don't know what this is Fantasy Labs. I don't know if you guys have this, but I think you do. You should for free, I think. Take a look at all the pros lineups after every day. So the best player in the world, in my opinion, is Petty Theft. And if you take a look, what do you know? He has no Banchero. This is in his 150 lineups. He has no Davion Mitchell. He was over on Franz. He was over on the Spurs. Josh Richardson, he was way over on. Over on Keldon. Yeah, no Davion Mitchell. Let's take a look at Ship. Another really good player. Over on Bamba. Way over on Branham. Way over on Franz. Way over on Keldon. Once again, no Davion Mitchell. No Paolo Banchero. Way over on the Spurs, which was the sharp play today. The sharp play today was playing all of these Spurs. Josh Richardson, one of the best plays on the slate. Keita Bates-Diop, a really good play at no ownership. Branham, the second best play on the slate in my opinion, over besides Fred VanVleet. Malachi, or did I already go over Richardson and Keita Bates-Diop and Keldon? Really good play at no ownership. So check this out. You should definitely look at pros lineups, see what they played for the day. Definitely helps. So enough of my tilting. Let's go over this. I believe it's a 7-game slate for Saturday. Hope you guys had a good Friday. We are into the weekend. All right. In my opinion, this slate looks really, really freaking good. So let's get into this. Let me take a fat hit of the vape. So tough spot here for the Clippers. Knicks play good. They play slow. So Kawhi, Paul George, more of just tournament only plays for me. Definitely still have some interest in them because they have their position eligibility is very good and they still have ceilings. But The Knicks are one of those teams that I just don't like targeting with how slow they play, and the Clippers also play pretty slow, if I recall correctly. So, not a game that I really want to target here, unless Brunson's out on the other side. So, not too much interest in Kawhi, Paul George. Same with Norman Powell. I think he's overpriced. Really, really tough spot. And actually, you have Mitchell Robinson out, but I don't like Zubac. Like he's so up and down. He's always a good tournament play because he's always going to go low owned, but with Paul George, with Kawhi on the court, his usage rates are just really, really, really bad. So you're going to need a double double from him to reach value, and maybe like a block and a steal, a couple blocks and a steal. I think it's a fine play, but I think as far as the rankings go, I think there are much, much better plays on the slate than Zubac. Morris, no. Man, no. I think Reggie Jackson is actually an interesting value play. 27 minutes here, 25 minutes here. Has been shooting the ball very, very badly. But if we're going to continue to get about 25 minutes from Reggie Jackson, I think he's definitely in play as a large field tournament dart that nobody is going to be on. So I think Reggie Jackson might be my favorite play here from the Clips. Let's move on to the Knicks. So we have Jalen Brunson questionable. We still have Mitchell Robinson out. We'll cover it both ways. If Brunson is in, not too much interest in this team, like Randall Brunson, they would be in play. RJ Barrett with Brunson in, they have shown his minutes can be way, way up and down. I will say this, if I knew RJ would play 40 minutes again, he would definitely be too cheap. I'd feel much better about that if Brunson's out. Quickly would be overpriced if Brunson's in. Grimes would be overpriced if Brunson's in. And then Jericho Sims has been losing minutes of late. I know he got into massive foul trouble here, and I think he got into early foul trouble here, but they have shown to go to Hartenstein of late, and he's been closing games. I'm pretty sure he closed here. I'm pretty sure he closed here. So if I knew Hartenstein was going to play 25 minutes tomorrow, I would think he'd be a pretty good value, in my opinion. But um, they've kind of shown they want to go with the hot hand. So just be a little bit careful there. I also do think there is a chance that Hartenstein could start, and if he does start, I would like him a lot. But I definitely think he's in play with how many minutes he's been playing of late. I'm probably not going to go to anyone else though. If Brunson's out, then you guys know what to do. Like Randall gets a boost, he would be fine, but I think RJ Barrett would look like a very, very good play at only 6.3K. I would think he would play 40 minutes again. It was basically him running the show last game. Definitely an outlier performance with 30 real life points, but 6.3K would just be way too cheap for him with no Brunson. I would like RJ Barrett a lot. And then I would probably go right back to Quickly. I know he had a really bad second half, but he's a good point per minute guy. He'll have usage with no Brunson. He'll have the ball in his hands a lot, and he'll also play huge minutes. So I still like Quickly, even if Brunson is out. And then same kind of situation with the centers, and then I don't really think I can go to anyone else. Let's move over to Phoenix. So really good spot here for Phoenix. I think Chris Paul is a good play, GPP play. Probably not going to get too much ownership, but as long as this game stays close, he's probably going to play 35 plus minutes. Good point per minute guy. Guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet. So yeah, no issues if you want to go to Chris Paul here. Aiton, more of a contrarian play, but this 7.6K price tag does seem intriguing. It's a good spot as well, so I have no issues if you want to go there. Bridges, I'll gladly pass on. We're going to have Cam Johnson back, so that takes Dario Saric out of play for me, and then I'm not going to play Craig. I'm not going to play anyone else. Let's move over to Detroit. So I kind of want to look at what the minutes were like for the bigs tonight. So you saw Beef Stew play 28, Jalen Durham play 33, Ivy 29, Killian Hayes 24. So they're kind of splitting the guard minutes. Alec Burks 26. Okay, cool. So Bojan, you guys know the drill by now. It's a tough spot here, so I don't have too much interest. I'm pretty sure Phoenix does a good job of taking away 3-point shots. Don't fact check me on that, but I feel like I'm right with that. So I don't have too much interest in Bojan. Ivy, Hayes, they're going to split the point guard duties. They're both just there for me, like fine plays. Sadiq Bey came off the bench, still played 30 minutes. I always like Sadiq Bey for GPPs just because nobody plays him and he's always under owned. He's probably going to play 30 minutes too. He's been very, very good of late. So I always like Bey for GPPs just because he has this type of ceiling and nobody plays him. The bigs I do like. If they start Duran and Stewart alongside each other again, because then I would just feel more safer about Jalen Duran and Isaiah Stewart's minutes. So if they do the same starting lineup and we're going to get 33 minutes of Duran again, we're going to get 28 minutes of Beef Stew again, I think they would be solid plays at their respective prices. Once again, it is a tough matchup, so you'll probably have to dock their projection a little bit based on this matchup. They were in a much, much better matchup tonight, so you can't expect that fantasy point output again, but I think they would definitely be solid if they do that starting lineup again. Burks is just there for me at 5-1, seems priced about right. If they keep starting him, and then I don't think I'm really into anyone else. Let's move over to Portland. So good spot here for Chicago. I mean, Dame finally had a bad game, but it was the Anthony Simons show. I don't really think that's going to happen again. Just the rotation is absolutely insane. Dame, Grant, Hart, these guys are playing close to 40 minutes a game. So I like the main guys here. I like Dame for GPPs. I might give a small edge to SGA around the same price, but I like Dame. Grant had a really bad game tonight, but with no Nurkic, his usage goes up, his reboundings go up. I think he's okay. I really like Josh Hart at 5.2K, and I told everyone in Discord, with no Nurkic off the court, his usage does go way up. His rebounding numbers go way up. So he is too cheap with no Nurkic. You have to cross this game off. It's not going to happen again. This was a complete outlier game. Usually he's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, do a bit of everything. So with no Nurkic, I think Josh Hart probably might have to play him in cash games. Not entirely sure yet. We'll see what ownership is, but if he's going to be low owned again, I really like Josh Hart. Simons, no. Um, so here's the thing with Drew Eubanks and Trendon Watford. Drew Eubanks got into massive, massive foul trouble very early, so you saw Trendon Watford absolutely smash. He's not going to play 30 minutes again. I would assume they kind of split the center minutes with Drew Eubanks playing a little bit more, so like a I don't know, 26, like 22 split, something like that. Um, so here's the thing. I think Watford's going to be way overowned tomorrow after tonight's performance and people not realizing Drew Eubanks was in massive, massive foul trouble. So if everyone's going to go to Watford, just give me Drew Eubanks. Well, I think Watford is definitely an okay value. If everyone's going to play him, I'll just go to Drew Eubanks. I think they're both fine. I definitely do prefer Drew Eubanks, though, with what transpired tonight. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for Portland. Let's move over to Chicago. So we have Vooch probable, we have Patrick Williams questionable, we have Alex Caruso questionable. If I had to guess, I think Vooch obviously is going to play. I don't think Caruso plays. I think Patrick Williams is more of a 50-50. Um, I don't think he plays. I didn't realize it was a right ankle sprain. So, but we'll go over it both ways. If everyone's in, I don't have too much interest in this team. Like the main guys, they're all just there for me. Vooch, DeRozan, Levine, they're just there. I think Patrick Williams is overpriced. The guards, they're going to run a three-headed guard rotation. Really hard for me to go to either of them. But if we get a situation where Patrick Williams and Alex Caruso is out, then I think the main three are still fine plays, but I'm gonna be looking to the value here. So they could do a number of things. They could start Derek Jones Jr. They could go smaller and they could start Kobe White. So we're gonna have to monitor the situation. Like if Derek Jones Jr. starts at the flat min, I think he's definitely someone we can look to. If they start Kobe White, um, I would feel pretty good about his minutes, and I would think he'd be a pretty solid value. Good point per minute guy. Might lose usage in the starting lineup, so maybe I honestly prefer him coming off the bench. Like if Cruz is out and Kobe comes off the bench, I still do like him for value. And then Io would be playable if Cruz is out. I definitely would still prefer Kobe to Io if Cruz is out. And then, like I said, if Derek Jones Jr. starts, he would definitely be someone I'm interested in for value. So that'll do it for Chicago. Let's move on to Houston. So I'm ready to get burned by this game again. We have Kevin Porter Jr. out. We have Jalen Green. I don't think he'll play, so we're gonna go over this assuming he's out. Eric Gordon's already out for tomorrow. I believe Jason Tate is already out for tomorrow. So no KPJ, no Jalen Green, no Eric Gordon, no Jason Tate. It's a really good spot. I like Sengun quite a bit for GPPs after he's busted 2 games in a row. Nobody's gonna play him, and the price came up. I'm not too concerned about it. My only concern is here. He did only play 33 minutes in this game, but tonight he was in foul trouble. I'm pretty sure, so he was on pace to play more minutes. It's a really good spot up against OKC. So I think Sengun looks like a good spend up. KD Martin's fine. Jabari Smith's fine. Tari Eason I don't think really gains any minutes from these guys being out. Like he could get some of Tate's minutes, but they don't really play Eason and Jabari together too much. Dyson Nix will start at the point. He's a perfectly fine value, but my main interest here is going to be who starts for Eric Gordon. If I had to guess, it would be Josh Christopher. If Josh Christopher starts at the 2, he would be a pretty good value, good point per minute guy. I would assume he would play, around 25 minutes. Would definitely be a pretty good value at that price tag. And then, yeah, just monitor who the Rockets start. But with Eric Gordon and Tate out, it's not like huge boosts. Like KJ Martin, Jabari Smith, they seem priced about right still. But I think, they don't have offense. Like, without Eric Gordon, they don't have offense. So, like, it's just going to be the second show, and it's going to be the Josh Christopher show. So, those two I like quite a bit. Then maybe Dyson Nix will have to do more offensively. Shot the ball terribly tonight. Definitely a playable value there regardless. So let's move over to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm ready to get absolutely killed by SGA again, but I think he looks like one of the better spend up options on the slate. Phenomenal spot going up against Houston. Guards been destroying Houston. You guys know I say this. I don't have to say it anymore. As long as this game stays close, he will play huge minutes. So I'm fine going right back to SGA here. Josh Giddey just randomly played close to 40 minutes. I don't understand it. Makes absolutely no sense to me, but he's also in play. Jalen, no. Kendrick Williams didn't start last game, but he still played 30 minutes off the bench. I have interest in him as a dart. If he starts, though, I do like him for value. I'd feel better about his minutes, but you can never, never trust this team. Isaiah Joe started last game, got benched at halftime, came off the bench. We'll see. Whoever they start is fine, but you can never, never trust whoever gets slid into the starting lineup for this team outside of Jalen, Giddey, and SGA, and possibly Kendrick. It's like that fifth starter is just always extremely, extremely risky. So just be careful. Just be very, very careful. Tread lightly there. So on Miami, we have Oladipo doubtful, Gabe Vincent questionable. I think Gabe Vincent's going to play here. We have Kyle Lowry out. So it's a tough spot here. They are intriguing me with these prices. Like Bam seems too cheap, Butler seems too cheap, Tyler Harrow seems a little bit too cheap with no Lowry. The matchup's horrible, which definitely is a little bit concerning. But Jimmy's been so bad. This is what I will say. I have interest in all three. I don't think they're must by any means, given the matchup. But they do seem a little bit too cheap. Here's the thing. We have to monitor who they're going to move into the starting lineup. So they can move Struss into the starting lineup. They can move Gabe Vincent into the starting lineup. I think Gabe Vincent is a solid value even if he comes off the bench. I think they're going to have to play him more regardless. Good point per minute guy as well. So I like Gabe regardless. But if he moves into the starting lineup, he would be one of the best value plays on the slate, in my opinion. So would like Gabe a lot if he starts. I probably wouldn't go to Struss off the bench, but he would be playable. If he starts, I think he's a solid value, but very, very, very scoring reliant. So, yeah, we saw Udonis Haslam get dusted off. I have no idea what's going on here, but yeah, that'll do it for Miami. Tough spot here for Milwaukee. I don't have too much interest in this team. Giannis is fine as a contrarian spend up. Drew seems overpriced. Brook, no. Middleton not playing enough. So, Milwaukee, very, very unappealing team for me tomorrow. And then we have to deal with this mess. Like, what is this? What is this? So, Luka out, Christian Wood on my best ball team. Let me show you guys something actually. You guys want to see why nobody runs worse than I do? Do you guys want to see? I'm in third place, down 15 points. You guys want to see my lineup? Luka Doncic, injured. Missed a game. Missed a game last week. Gets injured in that game. Now missed the game yesterday. Missing the game today. Draymond Green gets scratched. Questionable today. Dylan Brooks gone. Yusuf Nurkic injured. Has missed this entire week. By the way, this is the last week of best ball. I easily take over second place if Luka doesn't get hurt, Nurkic doesn't get hurt, and Draymond doesn't get scratched. You guys want to see another reason why no one runs worse than I do? I'm in third place with this team. Fox out. Wait, that's not my lineup. I'm in third place with this team. Look at this. Wall out. OG out. KPJ out. Nurk out. Vooch questionable. LeBron questionable. Let's take a look at my team in fourth place. Sorry guys, just skip ahead a second if you don't want to see this, but Fox out. Wall out. Mitch like bro. Alright. Dallas. So Luka Wood questionable or out. We have Spencer Dinwiddie questionable. We'll cover it both ways. So if Spencer Dinwiddie's in, as long as this game stays close, he looks like one of the best plays on the slate. Like he would look absolutely amazing if you think this game stays close. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to have to do more offensively. I think he would be solid. Dorian Smith would be playable. Dwight Powell's okay. Josh Green, I think, is a solid value. He'll probably play around 30 minutes. Reggie Bullock, no. If Dinwiddie's out, then are we going to get point Jaden Hardy? If Jaden Hardy starts at the point with no Dinwiddie, I would really like him. I think it was a good point per minute guy. Starting at the point, flat min. I would think he'd have to play a bunch of minutes. So would like Hardy quite a bit if he starts for no Dinwiddie. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets a boost, but obviously concerns of blowout, so be a little bit careful there. But he would get a boost. Like if this game stays close, he would be the clear number one on this team, and I would like him. Like Dorian Finney-Smith would get another boost. He would be playable. Dwight Powell, same thing. Josh Green would look good. So keep an eye on the Dinwiddie news. Definitely important. All right, Golden State. So we have Steph probable. We have Draymond and Klay Thompson questionable. So if everyone's in, there's not too much for me. I think Steph's a good tournament play, but Klay, Poole, Draymond seem priced appropriately. Wiggins seems priced appropriately, so not much if they're in. But if they're out, then still Steph's fine, but Poole would look good at 6.8K. Wiggins would get a boost. He would be fine. Dante didn't play as much as I thought he would last game, so wouldn't have too much interest there, but the main boost for me would be Jonathan Kuminga, who started last game, played 32 minutes. I would really like Jonathan Kuminga if Draymond Green's out and he moves into the starting lineup. And then you saw some run for Ty Jerome. I don't think I need to go there, but he would be playable. And then Kevon Looney would be playable at 4.5K. But the main boost, the main guys, and then Jonathan Kuminga, if those guys are out. Last set of games here, guys. So tough spot here for Atlanta. Same thing as always. Trey Murray, fine GPP pace. Not going to go to Capella against Jokic. Would like Capella quite a bit if Jokic is out, though. I will say that. Bognup probably plays low 20s minutes. Fine option. Hunter, this guy smashes every slate, but when I play him, when I'm on takedown watch, 15 fantasy points, 40 minutes. Okongwu will play the backup 5. Don't think we need to go there. And that'll do it for Atlanta. So Denver, we have Jokic and Gordon questionable. If they are in, I really like Jokic at the top. Murray would still be fine even if Jokic is in. Not a must, but still a fine play. Gordon, no. MPJ seems priced about right. KCP seems priced about right. Bones out of the rotation. Wouldn't really be going to anyone else. But if Jokic and Gordon are out, that's where things get spicy. Jamal Murray would look like one of the better mid-range plays on the slate. Would really like him. MPJ gets a boost. He would be solid. KCP, his role doesn't really change much, but Bruce Brown probably comes off the bench, plays over 30 minutes. He would be a good value. Bones, I don't think will play. And then they started Kankar last game. He had a really good game. Still played 32 minutes as well. He would be a solid value. And then I would assume Zeke Naji starts at the 5, and he would be a good value. So keep an eye on this Denver news. Extremely important. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.